Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our show. The name of the show is Spiritual Exploration. Exploration. Yeah, I couldn't get it out. Anyway, I'm sitting in tonight for Christine, who is unavailable tonight, and we have a very special guest who's going to finally do her forecast, all right, for this astrological year of 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2021. And without any further ado, Deborah, introduce yourself to the audience, let them know who you are, and then we can start hearing about what's in store for us for this year.
What's in store? So, hi, everybody. I'm Deborah Rose, and I am your astrologer for 2021. Now, we have a very unique situation. You know, I always tell you guys about Mercury retrograde. Well, we taped the show in the foreshadow of Mercury retrograde last time, and guess what? It got all screwed up. So here we are again. It is April. We're actually taping this April 16th. So I know some of you saw the show before and you kept saying, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I got so many emails. Thank you so much. You know, sometimes the universe has a sense of humor, and it certainly did. So here we are. I guess CTV just wanted us to come back. And Christine, we miss you. Thomas, thank you so much for filling in. We're going to have a great time today. Yeah, and I'm going to teach you this today about those shadows because it's kind of funny. Anyway, so we're going to start. At 2021, we are starting in April. I'm going to bring you right to the end of the year, okay? Everybody gets a little predictive stuff here. And I'm going to tell you about eclipses. You know, this year the eclipses are fabulous. They're quite interesting. So we have 4 eclipses. Now, eclipses tend to fall in pairs, usually about 2 weeks apart. We have 2 solar, 2 lunar. And usually the solars hit, or the lunars hit first and the solars come after it. So here we go. Eclipses will allow us to release old patterns. I know you guys like to learn. Everybody likes their predictions, but some of you say, teach me about that. And it helps you with books. A lot of you say, I can't learn from the book. Tell me about it. And then it makes sense to you. So eclipses, don't be afraid of them. They help you release old patterns. It allows you to become unstuck. And you know, human beings, we're great at getting stuck. Things that would normally take a few years to happen can be done in a year if you have an eclipse. It's got to hit very close. It's got to hit close to some of your personal planets or your sun or something like that. Whatever house the eclipse, you know, there are 12 houses in astrology. Whatever house the eclipse falls in, that's where you're going to get your activity, all right? So let's say this. Let's see the lunar eclipse. Let's start with that one. We're going to have a lunar eclipse. Remember, this is April right now. So we are going to start. We had some in December last year. So we're going to start with May 26th. It's a total lunar eclipse, and it's in Gemini. So obviously the Geminis are going to be affected, right? But so is Sagittarius, because that's in opposition. All the yeah, that's your Sag, yeah? All the mutable signs are going to be hit too. So if you're a Pisces or a Virgo, especially Sag and Gemini, that's on May 26th. Do you tend to feel the eclipses coming a little bit before, a little after? How long do eclipses last? I get a lot of questions about this. 3 months intensely, but they will last throughout a year. They give you time to make these phenomenal changes and breakthroughs that you're going to be making. And the next one, obviously the pair, the solar eclipse, is going to happen June 10th in Gemini. So you're born June 10th, I'm going to say you're going to have some changes this year. If you're born the 9th, if you're born the 11th, you're going to have changes. And then if you're born anywhere around that, you're going to have some other changes too. Maybe not as intently as those 3 degrees, but change well enough. The next set of eclipses, we have a lunar eclipse, a partial lunar, and that's going to happen on, depending upon your time zone, November 18th, 19th, between there, because it happens late at night. It's in Scorpio. And those late degree Scorpio, so let's say if you are born November, let's say 19, 20, 21, 22, you're going to feel that. The next solar eclipse, a total solar eclipse, hitting Sagittarius again, December 4th. Are you born the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th? And anywhere around that, let's say within the 1st to like the 8th or so, you're going to feel it. But 3, 4, obviously, and then 5 are going to get it big time. So don't be panicky about this. Do you need a breakthrough? Do you need a change? Do you need to become unstuck? Do you need your power back? An eclipse is going to do it for you. And I always say eclipses bring assistance. So believe in your angels, believe in your guardians, believe in Great Spirit, because that's where you get your assistance from. Now, my favorite and apparently yours, Mercury retrograde. Well, we're in April, so next one is May 29th to June 22nd in 2021. Next one is September 27th to October 18th. Now, people are getting so wise about this Mercury retrograde. Do you know about that, Thomas?
I hate Mercury retrograde. I won't even let anybody on my staff even mention it.
Okay, whoops.
Because
Here we go.
I don't want to give it any power.
Tension. Okay, so let's talk about Mercury retrograde challenges. What is a challenge? Everything. It challenges communication, phone calls, text messages, appointments, personal communications, misunderstandings. Keep your schedule open, even slips of the tongue. I laugh because only once in my life did I send emails to too many people, and it happened under Mercury retrograde. You want to go to one and it winds up reply all. I learned that lesson. And since Mercury rules the third house of siblings, you could have issues with siblings. You could have issues in your neighborhood because the neighborhood is your third house. So be careful around that time. I find that mail goes to the wrong houses also at that time. Problems with cars, problems with travel. Put tags on your luggage. Give yourself time to get to the airport. Give yourself time to get home. Check on your cars if you're getting car services. Make sure that there is a spot in long-term parking. Electronics, anything mechanical or technological. Do not purchase big-ticket items. People say to me, what are big tickets? Now, when I was learning astrology when I was a kid, a long time ago, I was very young. I was like 10 or 12 when I started studying. They would say to us, $500. Well, you could buy earbuds for $100 and have them all messed up.
That's true.
All right? So that's just a little bit of what goes on with Mercury retrograde. So here's what I'm going to tell you. So we did the show, I believe, last time in a post-retrograde, a little too close to the retrograde I had just let go. So you want to know about the influences before, pre-retrograde, and post-retrograde. So here we go. The pre- and post-retrograde influences of Mercury. Pre-shadow, that's about 14 days before the retrograde. Post-shadow is about 21 days after, but once you hit day 7, after, it starts to weaken. So don't worry so much. You go, oh my God, I need to buy tires, I need to buy a car or whatever. Don't buy it during the retrograde and give yourself a little bit of time before. I like 14 days before. Do you know the approach of aspects seems to be stronger than the release of aspects? So if you have to buy that car, don't buy it before. Go in the after, because about 7 days after the retrograde, let's go, that's when you're starting to get okay. But remember something. It is 21 days. So keep that in mind. So let me give you some Mercury retrograde words. This way you can think about it. Redo, rewrite, reset, rethink, revitalize, renovate, rework, remember, remind. So what do you lose when Mercury retrograde happens? Your mind is the first thing that goes. Oops, I forgot. Oh, my schedule today. Was it today or was it tomorrow? You show up to the wrong days, the wrong appointments. Even like doctor's offices, things like that get messed up. So don't worry, you and everybody. It's the rest of the world. So be kind, be patient, and everything can be fixed. You're still living and breathing. So that's a good thing. So there's your education for this show. Now, how about let's start with Aries. Okay, fellow fire sign, right, Thomas?
I suppose.
Okay. Aries, 2021. Well, this can be a year of reckoning, Aries. You have, on an emotional level, gone through so many changes. It's quite amazing, but you're still ready for more change. You've recognized in the past few years, you've had those 3 major Capricorn planets, and at 1.6 beating the hell out of you for a couple of years. So you know who you are, you know what you want to do, you know who you want to follow, and you know you want to make changes. And Mars went retrograde last year in 2020, and that's when the inner soil, the fertilized soil from all the crap you went through, starts to wake up. You're following your dreams, you're releasing your past, you're awakening. So don't be afraid to take a chance on yourself. Some of you are still searching for your freedom, searching for your identity, searching for who you are. anything limiting, anything that makes you unhappy, anything that, or you feel like you've outgrown something, let it go. Let it go. New things are coming. But don't be too impatient. This is something that I see with a lot of Aries, and especially the way this chart is laid out. Don't burn bridges. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You might say, well, I don't want that person in my life anymore. Or, I've learned enough. Well, you may think that, but then you go on your new road, you're this new person, and then you'll go, oh man, I think maybe I could use their advice, their help, their assistance, their friendship, their love, whatever it might be. So while you are growing, don't burn bridges this year. Now, also, don't be pound wise and penny foolish. Be careful with money. And don't ignore health, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. You're going to get a wake-up call. And the wake-up call is not an external one. This is one that happens within. You know, I always say that every human being has the seed of God in their heart. And that's where a lot of this energy is being propelled. So you feel it in your heart, you see it in your third eye, your instincts wake up, and that's what's going on for you. You're going to identify with different things. You're going to change. You're going to eliminate. A lot of Aries have new beginnings in life and in love. And now let's talk about career. Some of you have had difficulties, heavy responsibilities in the past, but these eclipses, they started in 2020, are going to help you break through and get the past behind you. Don't be afraid to go after what you want this year. A lot of you are going into new careers, totally new careers, new pathways. Maybe you have to learn something. Maybe you're going to do your own business. Maybe you're going to take on two things at once. While this is going on, and you have all of these great starts, and you really do believe in yourself this year, you've got these great starts in business, but all these warnings. Don't neglect your body. Take care of yourself. Aries will burn the candle at both ends. You know what? You've been doing that. It's a kind of a typical fire sign thing, so don't worry about that. But this transformation is physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental. So when you have all of those things going through changes, and this is really what you need for these radical changes and new beginnings, when that happens, you've got to take care of the physical, okay? Get back in shape, do the whole medical thing, get all of your tests, boost your immune system. Here we are living in a COVID world, right? So what's the most important thing? Immune system. Make you a priority. Okay, so Aries, now we are going to allow Taurus to have a little bit of time over here. Taurus, well, Jesus. Taurus, the bull, right?
The bull.
Taurus the bull. So who would want to move a bull, right? You certainly don't want a bull coming at you, and you really can't get them to move that easily anyway. But Taurus has been challenged by a planet called Uranus. Now, Taurus is what we call in astrology a fixed sign. What does that mean? They don't like change. When they do change, they do it at their own pace. They go rather slowly. They go through a lot of interchanges. They will like comfort. And they are not comfortable with the planet Uranus in their sign for a couple of years here. And it's right in the middle about now. Uranus we call the Great Awakener. What does it do? Shock waves. It awakens you. Enlightenment. Sudden happenings. Sometimes the rug gets pulled out from underneath you and Uranus says, ha, time for change. Taurus hates that. Taurus gets mad at that. But that's why Uranus has been called the Great Disruptor. So Taurus has been going through a little bit of hell, but it encourages us to challenge the status quo. Why? In order to let go of the past, to be able to move into the future. You can't grow unless you move out of old patterns. You know, I have so many Tauruses in marriages, and they'll go, I love my husband or I love my wife, but a marriage is stale. Well, what sign are you guys? Taurus? Both of you? Yeah. Oh, my God. This is what I'm getting a lot of right now. Well, because neither one of you can figure out how to grow, how to let go, or how to make the changes. But this planet is coming in and disrupting the status quo. Taurus doesn't like it. Okay. But between this and here you go. Here's another whammy for you. Now we have Saturn in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. And guess what? Uranus rules Aquarius. And it's at the top of your chart. So you might just be ready to take a risk, to follow a dream. When we look at the top of the chart, and when you look at an astrology chart, it's a wheel. And at the top, that's your outer standing in the community, or that's your ninth house of higher learning or education. That's the house of travel. Sometimes you travel in mind or in body. Today, I'm going to use the word travel or expansion or education. Well, sometimes it could be spiritual, and sometimes it could be, well, if you want to go to Florida, wherever you're going, wherever the world is open. So keep that in mind, but that's what you guys are doing this year. Follow a dream. Take a chance. Let go. Disrupt your comfort zone this year, please, because the rewards could be amazing. Now, this should be an active year for love. You could be married or you could be single. It doesn't matter. Active, so let's say you're married. Let me do this. And with Uranus hanging around, so the two of you have been homebodies, very placid, you don't go anywhere, and one of you says, listen, we're getting boring, or I always wanted to go to Arizona or Florida, wherever you want to go. This would be the year when you decide, once the restrictions are lifted, and we all know that we're safe, to pick up and go. But at least make the plans. And I'm going to throw something in the middle of this. I think that there should be some more changes with the COVID situation. I have a feeling it looks like I'm seeing more activity and movement of people in the summer. Now, heat destroys viruses, right? So I think maybe that's why we're seeing that. And summer starts June 21st, but I see it really around July, August, like that, early September. So maybe make a plan, make a trip, do something like that. You could go upstate to a bed and breakfast where you're out in the woods, in the forest, or wherever you are, where it's safe. Just do something different. So your popularity is going to increase this year. Friends, family, people want to see you again, and you want to see them. And I want you to do what you're interested in. If you always wanted to play golf, take lessons. If you always wanted to go out west, go out west. Don't keep it in your mind, I want to, I like to, because Taurus and a few other signs tend to die with a lot of dreams in their head. And I think that's the worst thing in the world. Don't die wishing that you lived. So Taurus, the universe is teaching you how to live this year. Don't throw your heart on the line too quickly. So let's say you're single or you're out there looking. Don't throw your heart on the line too quickly under any circumstances, because Uranus rules the unconventional. So you're a single person and you meet the love of your life. Oh, they're fabulous and they're wonderful. Oh, they're married. Or they are divorced. Or they are not sure which side of the line they want to be on. They want to be with man, they want to be with woman, they want to be with both. The most unconventional, unusual, unique people may cross your mind. And Taurus usually knows who they are. And you don't want to get caught up in someone who is caught up in their own life. So please, go very slowly. Now, married people have been experiencing some changes. Uranus is the planet of divorce or separation. So whether you've been in a long-term partnership or whether you're divorced, in astrology, all you do is you see the oppositions there, or the disruption. Changes and challenges, many of you are getting divorced or are separating, but if you have a rock-solid relationship with Taurus loves, you can awaken, Uranus, right? Awaken. If you are flexible, another challenge, enough, and if you're in love, you can change. You're going to be able to take a look to see the roots of your relationship and to decide whether this love is worth saving. So, Tauruses, don't give up hope, or get ready for something new. And that's not a bad thing. So let's take a look at your career. Career is big this year. I like that. Your ambition will match it. For the past few years, this is not just this year, you've been working really hard, and this is the year for the payoff. A lot of you are going to get promotions, raises. Others are going to take a chance on business ideas. And others may go back to school or learn something new or add to their trade. Taurus is a money sign. So a lot of you are natural at money. Don't hold tight. Money flows. So it's got to exchange. Doesn't mean don't save, don't have a nest egg. No. Many investors save up their money in order to invest to make more money. That's great. This is a year that you just might have some opportunities to do that. And if you are in one career and you say, I'm going to change directions dramatically, do it. This is the year that you could pull it off. You could change the direction of your career, you'll change your future, and you change your future opportunities and choices. Do you want to study? Go back to school? Go right ahead. This is the time. And you're not crazy. Taurus often goes, oh my God, this is a risk. Don't worry about it, just do it. Health, well, it can be a very emotional year for you, Taurus. You might be dealing with a lot of 8th house matters. There's a lot of cluster in that 8th house. What does that mean? Sex, death, taxes, other people's money, inheritances. Make sure proper rest is part of your daily routine. Also, these planets speak of changes in personal appearance and style. You could finally have success in health, diets, and medical issues. If you've had a medical condition that really can't be fixed or cured or identified, if we have had some type of stagnation in health, you're going to have some good luck happen for you this year. And in true Taurus fashion, slow and steady wins the race. And I want to make a little bit of a point on that. You know, Taurus can have a rather stout or steady, heavy body. And many times because it rules sugar, sweets, a lot of people can put on weight. This is the year to get any type of addiction, especially food addictions, kind of in your hand. Or you might find the right diet or the right vitamins or the right whatever you need, the right medicine for you to feel good and optimize your health this year. So good luck, Taurus. A lot of disruption, but a lot of good changes for you. So let's talk about Gemini, our polar opposites. Okay, so this is an exciting year for Gemini, but if any of you guys know Geminis, oh my God, they're pretty exciting on a day-to-day basis anyway. So the eclipses this May can bring interesting opportunities in partnership, business, as well as personal. You know, I have a lot of friends that are Gemini, and sometimes the spouses are, they're in a boring job, or, this COVID thing has really wrecked their work. A lot of these Geminis are going to come up with brand new things to do this year. I'm just throwing that in because somebody popped into my head. We're going to have some beginnings and some endings. We can have it in love, we can have it in business, but either way, it's going to be exciting. Many have been struggling to figure out what they do and what they don't want in their life. Do I still want my husband? Do I still want my wife? Do I still want my job? Do I want to live here, or do I want to throw this house away and move to, I don't know, Florida? Everybody's going to Florida, right? This year will be a continuation of that energy, but I would imagine that by the end of the year, we have eclipses at the end of the year. Obviously, I said December 4th, right? By the end of the year, when that Sagittarian eclipse opposes that Gemini again, I think you're going to be able to make up your mind. I think you're going to have your breakthrough. Obviously, if you are a Gemini and you've got 9 planets in Taurus, you know, that's going to be a different deal. But for most Geminis, this is going to be true. Answers and decisions at the end of the year. Singles might find new loves, and this is a divorce year for Gemini. A lot of them are separating and divorcing, but that's okay because that's not uncommon to a Gemini, and they move on pretty well. But whatever your situation may be, one thing is for sure. In the next relationship that you are in, let's just talk about love for a minute. You're going to focus on truthful, open-minded communication. Gemini rules communication. Without the exchange of ideas, without the mental stimulation, Gemini love will die. So amidst the restrictions of COVID-19, so many Geminis have said to me, my husband hasn't spoken to me in 10 years, or my wife hasn't said anything to me except take out the garbage for 2 years. Next relationships, even in your friendships, you're going to recognize that you need the mental food. Now, here's a problem with Gemini. They often fall in love with mental food, and then they have no compatibility on the earth plane. You need that too. You need to be able to not talk about your emotions, but feel them. Thinking is safe, Gemini. Thinking is safe. Feeling, man, not so much, right? This is a great time for therapy. This is a great time for self-knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowing yourself is a powerful tool because then you can go out and figure out what you need. Let's think of this as a car, because as soon as I say this to Gemini, a lot of them go up in arms. There's nothing wrong with me. Listen, if you're nuts, you can't be fixed. But if you, just like all of us, just need the wiring changed a little bit, we've grown into someone that our emotional patterns in our childhood don't fit. We are allowed to grow, but self-knowledge is power. So if I were a car and I need new parts and I'm a Volkswagen, why would I put Cadillac parts in a Volkswagen? 2 different engines, 2 different speeds, 2 different design, 2 different vendors, 2 different countries. This is what Gemini likes to do, and then they come to me and they go, why didn't that work? Knowledge is power. Don't be afraid to look inside, because that's your pot of gold. Then we know where we're going in the future. Okay, so let's see, where are we? This is one of the signs that wants to travel. It always wants to travel. But you can travel in mind. You can travel in body. You can experiment with higher education. You can experiment with spiritual studies. As a matter of fact, that's how you have the courage to know yourself. If you feel connected, if you feel a God or a power, an idea higher than yourself, that might give you the idea or the courage to go forward. You know, I have a Gemini who's brilliant. He's got 2 PhDs, and he says, I'm an atheist. I believe in myself, I believe in my knowledge, and that's how I work the world. And I've known him 30 years now. We've been really good friends. And I never challenge him. He challenges me all the time, but I never challenge him. I go, that's good. You know, Rashid, you stay right there in your mind. Comes from another country where I guess religion is very powerful, and he just needed his freedom. And I believe that's a path too. Sometimes you just have to be on your own to figure out who you are. Find your power as a human being, as a thinking person. He went through the loss of a major university position in the United States. He lost it. He had a dream one night that God came to him and said, it's okay. You have a new path, and you're going to get another major university position, and that's going to move you into a place where you're working with aerospace. This was in his dream. So, of course, he called me as soon as he woke up. And long story short, he believes in the voice that he calls God now, and that's where he is right now, and quite happy. And now he's studying theology. So, I don't know. Whatever you want to believe works for me. You can believe in the great pumpkin. I like him too. But he's a Gemini, by the way. That's why I brought it up. So career. Let's talk about your career. Being a great communicator, being an intellectual, generally enjoying people, learning new experiences, you're going to enjoy the next part of 2021. There are some powerful influences, one being Jupiter in Aquarius. That's a fellow air sign for you, and it helps you change your job, get promoted, get your salary increase that's been pending for I don't know how long. It also puts you in a position, along with the eclipses, where you're going to be pushed out of the rut. You know you want to be, these eclipses come along and give you the boost. It's kind of like the wheelbarrow that you get dumped out of. Why? Time for self-development, time for increase, time to expand your mind and grow, and expand your spirit. So if you're not spiritual, you can read about it. You don't have to accept it, but read about it. Why not? The end result is going to be increased confidence, self-knowledge, and self-development. And that's why we seek the knowledge, right? And very much, the stars are very much on your side this year. They're on your side more than you know. They're on your side, and you don't even know that you're getting help. But we also have 20/20 hindsight, so we'll figure it out. So this is a year to pay attention to your health. Past neglect can catch up on you this year. So you do have a lot of luck in regaining what you've lost, and you have some good luck in new medical practitioners, new medicine, holistic lifestyle, new ideas in medicine. So this is a place to go. Take a risk here. It's a good thing. Okay, Cancer. So many cancers have come into changes. Cancer, sensitive, emotional, home-loving, family-loving. After the last year's lineup of Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter and Capricorn, Cancers are about ready to climb the walls. So you're ready to break free? You've got some planets helping you. We will say that you're on a different path after the events of the past, let's say 2 years. Let's take a look where you are. Let's take a look at love first. Don't settle in love. Don't settle in 2021. You'll have multiple opportunities to find interesting people. You'll notice that in the past, your options may have been a little dry, few and far between, but this is changing, particularly with the 2021 eclipses. They'll bring in new people, new opportunities, and you're feeling them now. We're getting the next eclipse in May. You're going to feel that right now. New people are going to come in, but take it easy, slow down. As you meet new people, as you sort of test the waters, be friends with everyone, go to dinner, nice and light, you're going to learn with each relationship or every person that comes towards you what you want, what you need. Oh, I like this in this person. I like that in that person. Oh, wouldn't this be fun to have? And then you've got to figure out if you can live with it. Fun is one thing. Living with it is another thing. But that's part of the enlightenment that you received this year. What you really want and need, most Cancers, is a responsible partner who's mature and who's secure. The word security for Cancer, that's like gold. You need a partner with similar values. Do you love family? Do you love home? That's what you need. You've been doing a lot of inner work on yourself, and you want someone who's done the same. You are not, you know what Cancer does? Oh, you're all broken. They take him in and they go, I'll fix you. Here's the problem. What if they don't want to be fixed? So, Cancer, this time, if you look at someone and they are who they are, remember they are who they are because that's who they want to be. If it works, it works. If not, move on. People that are interested in personal growth, self-care, communication, they should be considered. You no longer want to fix. You no longer want to nurture them back to health. Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. Remember, that's health. Okay, keep that in mind because a lot of people cross your path this year. Due to COVID situations, when we talk about career, a lot of you have had changes. Your work, your hobby, your environments have changed. Mid-year, something familiar comes back to you. Maybe you start to see old friends. Maybe you start to see coworkers. Some of you are searching for new work, and here's why. The environments have been changed by COVID. Maybe people left. Maybe your friends left. Maybe it's not fun anymore. There's a lot of things happening with personnel that really seem to change how you feel about your work. So this could come back. I believe one day COVID is just going to go away. It's going to change. Bye-bye. No worries about that. But keep that in mind. This year, there's new expansion with work. There's expansion with hobbies, new people, new routine. You are restless. You're ruled by the moon, so that's not uncommon. But you're restless. What keeps you grounded is your interaction in your core world, your home, your family, your finances. Big year for people taking a look at their finances this year. Cancers, your investments, your future security, what you're making now. Do we want to go for a raise? Do we want to change our money around? This is a good year to keep an eye on things. The money arenas are going to change because of political changes. So keep yourself safe, keep yourself secure, and forget these get-rich-quick schemes. You know, on TV, it depends what stations you watch now. You know, there's such a dichotomy between certain stations and certain stations. But they are telling you to invest your money into certain things. I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust it. Be careful. You want to hold on to your money. And you know, obviously, we're going to go into recession. And what do they say? What's the rule? Cash is king. So make sure you don't lose. Keep a watch on your investments. Health. This is a big, big year for you. So you're going to be looking at your work. You're going to be looking at your health routines. Let's make sure we're keeping up on our checkup, including bones and teeth. All right? That's something this year that might be sort of under duress. It's time to be aware of the quality of our food, our vitamins. It's all about nutrition this year. It's also about nutrition physically, but listen to what I said earlier, emotionally and mentally, right? What words are you saying? What people do you have around you? Everything in this universe vibrates, including people. You know, a word vibrates. I don't know if you've seen Dr. Matsuru Emoto. He's a Japanese physicist, and he left an experiment before he passed away for his grandson. And the name of his book is Hidden Messages in Water. Holy smokes. I can't go into it now, but read that book. And then you'll understand what I'm telling Cancers. But it's a big year to see what the world has for you. What's new? What enhances your life? And you'll see what works, who works, and you need to discard. Don't hold on. You need to discard what doesn't. Okay, Cancer. Leo. Let's talk about Leo, fellow fire sign. So Leo loves attention. Leo loves love. Leo wants to be the best. Leo wants to be the king, right? The king of the jungle, the lion. That's the symbol in astrology for Leo. With Jupiter opposing your sun sign. Now, whenever I say the word opposition, everybody goes, oh, no. No. And when Jupiter opposes you, it shines a bright light on you. It's the greater benefic. Good things are coming your way. Through whom? The opposite, through partners, through people, through getting out there, through your loved ones, through your partner, through your business partner, your marriage partner, to your best friends. These are people very close. You know, the seventh house is also open enemies, not hidden enemies. So even somebody who doesn't like you might shine a light on you in a way to say, you know what? You did the best thing for me. I'm leaving you behind, or I'm getting something new. So new, different, and exciting people can come your way. They'll cross your path, and they will inspire you forward. If you're married, some of you are going to experience some really great times, and then we're going to go to the opposite side. Then there are going to be some really tense times. Many negative relationships will fall apart this year. Jupiter, everyone goes, oh, my marriage is going to be fabulous. Jupiter's in my marriage house. Jupiter's also freedom. When Jupiter's in your 10th house, you could retire, or you could get a package, and now you're no longer working. When Jupiter is in your 7th house, you could attract a mate, but you could also get rid of a mate if that's what you need. So keep that in mind. On a family note, because family is big in this chart, it's time to spend more time with your children. It's time to engage, play with your children, or if they're older, be a part of their lives, whether it's travel, sports, entertainment. It's time to increase your visibility and your interaction with your family. Leo can get caught up in themselves, or let the wife do, or let the husband do, whatever the balance is in the family. But this says invest in them, and then you'll get the rewards shortly. Let's talk about career. Well, this is why you're probably not spending too much time with the family. You have been and will continue to work very, very hard at your career. The end of May into June, the pressure is on. If you've been living up to your commitments, promotion may come. If not, you're going to face a little reset. Some Leos may think about their own business this year, possible partnerships. Work out the details ahead of time and get everything in writing. The 9th house, the legal house, is active. So, Leo likes to direct. You do this, you do that, I'm the king. That's not going to work this year. So keep that in mind. But if you work hard, if you move, if you reset, if you go with the flow, if you make the changes, you could have some really good things happen in your career. So let's talk about health a minute. The pandemic seems to have affected all of us, but it's really affected Leos in a lot of ways. And right now, you're being urged to clean up your life, diet, health, happiness, routines, even grooming. Leos always love to look like Jesus Christ or better. If they're women, they're the Chanel. If they're men, they're just these fabulous-looking lion-type men. I've seen some really schleppy-looking Leos. Why? Because they're stuck in their houses. Get up, clean up, get out. Your grooming, your identity, new clothes, new hairdo, new whatever. All of these things are going to be happening. Be aware of your nutrition and don't overindulge. What do they call it, the COVID 30? Well, I've seen some Leos do about COVID 50. And they're not the only sign overindulging. Leos love being out with people. It's their food. It's their life. So they've really had a hard time with COVID. Let's release addictions, too. You have an addiction to something. Sugar. It could be sugar. Bad habits. That you could be successful this year. This is a year to look your best, be your best. Yeah, it's going to be challenging. And I say, well, life is not really totally open yet. It will be. All right. Let's see Virgo. Let's talk about Virgo. Oh, my goodness. I better hurry up. Yeah. So we'll start to see changes in love for you. We're going to start to see a year where the single Virgos are going to dream their perfect partner into happening. You're going to attract people. You're going to be ready for love. But you need to see the truth too. You know, you've got Neptune in opposition to that Virgo sun in Pisces. So we call that the rose-colored glasses. So take your time and see the truth of a relationship. You know, it not only hurts you, it hurts them. If you decide someone is this and they're presenting themselves who they are, but you don't see it, you hurt them, you hurt you. That's a little bit of a funny thing in this chart this year. You've got really strong angles. You know, the second house, the fourth house, the 10th house, the seventh house. Let's talk about home. If you're married, we need to spend time with our loved ones. Pay attention to your spouse. Pay attention to your children. But guess what? You are the worst critics and the best critics of the zodiac. Do not pay attention to them and fix them or criticize them. That's not going to work. You'll find that communication stops flowing towards you because every time you say something to your kids, your wife or husband, you criticize them. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear love. Most people know their shortcomings, and if you can support them when they want to change, that's one thing. But do not criticize. Singles have an opportunity for love this year. It's interesting. It could be at work or through technology. Now, love happens, Match.com and all that nonsense. So at work, you could meet someone, or through technology, you can meet someone. Go slow. Be patient. 2022 is a big year for you. So cruise through the rest of 2021. Be patient. Soulmate energies are in operation this year. So some of you guys could be meeting the people, could be drawing them in this year, and you might figure that out by next year. Career. We've got a lot of focus there. The eclipses highlight the 4th house of home and the 10th house of career. So expect action, challenges, changes at work. Some of you are going to be experiencing bumps in the road at work, probably because most companies are going through bumps in the road. A lot of you are going to be getting new jobs this year. And that could be here by mid-year. Those May-June eclipses could bring that into you. Health, fitness, diet, routines, all of these areas come under scrutiny. You know, Virgos are usually thin, or they are interested in health in one way or another. But if Virgo rules the ascendant in any way or affects the ascendant, you get bird-like, very very thin, very frail type energies, very fine energies. But by April, here we are, it's April, you might have recognized health challenges. You might have recognized fatigue, weakness. Let's get some checkups. Let's make some changes from April right through the end of the year. Libra. Well, Libra, Venus ruled Libra. With Jupiter sitting in your 5th house of love and romance, and Libra loves love, it's time for play. It's time for travel. The Libras are the ones that are moving even amidst COVID. These things are high on your mind. Pluto, the planet of the deep, the unseen, the unconscious, is challenging you to take a look back in your past, take a look at your programming as far as love is concerned, and see how your programming has affected your past loves and even the way you play. It's time for some emotional digging and healing. You know, it's kind of like garbage. If you leave the garbage in the can, what happens? It starts to stink. So don't let that stuff sit underneath there. Many of you are going to make new purchases this year. One of the things Libra's really lucky in this year is purchasing a car. I love that. Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to get involved in a community organization? You guys are really going to be the movers into PTA, I don't know, fix the highways, fix your community, help the elderly, whatever it might be. That's an opportunity for you this year. Marrieds, they're going to spend time working around finances, future security, trying to get organized, as well as entertainment, some travel, getting back together with children and family. A lot of Libras are going to be the ones that bring the family reunions back together after everybody gets vaccinated or whatever they're going to do. Singles will mingle. So romance is on everybody's mind. But, romance can be fleeting. Too many opportunities. Some of them are going to be a lot of fun. Some of them are going to be very creative. Let's look deeply at who you are, your programming, and then you'll be able to make the right decision. You get that? Do you get the fact that you're the key, not somebody else? You. That's where you've got to look. Okay, career. The May eclipses increase your visibility in career. Public speaking, writing, media, or just the boss recognizing you finally. That can happen now. New job opportunities can crop up as well as travel with work. I don't know how that happens, but either you would travel with work or you can virtually travel with work. Changes, improvements in home, or home moves might be in order. Many work from home now, so these planets are affecting that. Finances become clearer and balanced. You may have an increase in revenues. I always like to see that. You see how you're structuring and restructuring your foundations in love, in home, in family? Good for you, Libra. It's going to be an interesting year for you guys. Let me go to Scorpio. Love. You know, we have something called the finger of God. It's called Yod in astrology. And that's going to hit Scorpio on October 27th. That's an early of Scorpio. And that means big changes can happen for you. And where it can hit in this Scorpio sign is we might have a lot of marriages and engagements this year with Scorpios. But it's always a rerouting of a direction, sort of a new life, a new beginning, and a lot of things having to do with partnerships. So that being said, 2020 went out with a bang, to say the least. A lot of challenges in marriages and partnerships, and you guys are rectifying that. You don't let go easy. But chaos is a key word for Scorpio. The chaos in this chart was amazing, but you're coming out of it as we speak. Single Scorpios are going to be changing who and what they want in love, and you're going to recognize now that you cannot change, you cannot heal someone, and you're going to have to recognize that you need to be less controlling and more freeing with other people. People change when they're ready to. Communication and values, matched values are a must. Don't try to renovate people. Spiritual matches are going to be the most passionate and powerful this year. You're going to have more growth and understanding and happiness coming in that arena. So be open-minded. And then, of course, the marriages and the engagements. I'm excited for you guys. Career. Mid-year, that's going to highlight, well, mid-year, we're about 2 months away from that, highlights professional goals, hopes, wishes, promotions, increases, money. We're going to manage paying down debt. That's one of the problems that's been bugging Scorpio. Joint assets are highlighted from June on. You might be lucky in meeting people who help you expand career goals and opportunities. The end of this year could bring generous bonuses or new financial opportunities or investments, especially if you're straightening things out or because of the way the government's going, maybe you're going to change what you're doing. Health. Well, first of all, let's talk about the mental health. More communication with family, with loved ones, released stress in finances. Some of you guys are moving, by the way, and I know moving can be very stressful. If you're feeling a bit cut off after COVID, I think you're going to just step out, whether you have your vaccine or what, I don't know what the situation is, or you live in a place that's stepping out. You're going to lose some weight. You're going to feel lighter about your health. You're going to go back to practitioners that work for you, and your spiritual energy increases. You're going to look for something. You're going to want more. You're going to want to stay more connected to God. Many Scorpios are studying. They're online. They're doing a lot of mental health stuff, spiritual stuff, new hobbies, new opportunities. Okay. Nah. 9 minutes and 44 seconds. I'm moving. Sagittarius. Thomas and I are Sagittarius. Yay. Nice. So, love. Well, you know, we are the bachelors and bachelorettes of the zodiac. So, we're in for a year as far as love is concerned. Many Sagittarians are going to be meeting fun-loving, adventurous soulmates this year. Married Sagittarians might become more adventurous. Newly divorced Sagittarians go through physical and emotional makeovers. They're embracing their freedom, and they're changing who they are. Many Sagittarians are going to look different by the end of the year. Changes in weight, hair, health, whatever it might be. Even attitude. I see attitude on people's faces all the time, and it helps them change. It's reawakening your passions, yourself, and it's discovery. It's growing, and that is a Sag. They're always on the move mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Spiritual gifts can awaken this year, too. So you might get more angels, Thomas. Just what we need. We do need. Career. And that's an exciting year for us. Some Sages are going to have new jobs, new opportunities, new investments, new patents. They're very, very creative this year. Some of them are going to take sabbaticals. They may write. They may change careers. They may travel. They may meet new people. They may semi-retire and then go back into the field again. Neighbors around you may change. You may move. Your neighbors may move. It's a year of learning. You can learn at university. You could read a book. You could join a class. Many Sages get the recognition that they need by the end of this year. Think more money, Sag. More money is coming. Health, what a big deal this house is. Think restoration, newness, restoring health, restoring routines. Sag has been burning the candle at both ends, also, second sign to do that. It's time to slow down and heal. Sagittarius tend to be way ahead of their time, and they tend to like the holistic, the new, what's coming. New age medicine as well as classical medicine. Combine them both this year, and you get a big time renewal. It's a strong year for exercise, being out in the fresh air, for vitamins, nutrition. You're going to be interested in new spiritual things, new mind expansions, explorations. And if you're connected, so you never know what communications we might get.
Yeah.
Who knows? It may be from Mars. Capricorn. Capricorn has been through the ringer. Remember, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto has been in Capricorn. 3 major planets in your sign. Love. You are ready to be either newly single or you're ready to go out in the world again. There's so much energy still lingering, though, from the past this year. But by the end of the year and into 2022, you're going to start to feel your balance. It may be a few more years totally until you are feeling completely free. Maybe you've got to put the kids through college. Maybe you've moved after a divorce and you're in a townhouse, but you want to move to Arizona or something like that. You don't know where you want to move. This is the type of Capricorn setup that we have now. But basically, you are out of the fray right now. For many, the love of family and children are the focus. Singles have had to release the past, old destructive habits. You keep working on you. That's the best investment that you have this year, and it will pay off. Remember, just be patient towards the end of the year. Cancer, career. Well, money, investments, moving, home, children, education. You're working hard. You're going to keep working hard. But you are going to receive what you need, creative opportunities, everything you need by the end of this year. People will open up to you. People will help you with your goals. As far as your health, the eclipses are in your 12th house. You could wind up in the hospital. You could have some much needed surgery. You could have some health care you need in a good way. If you've been suffering for a while, this is time to heal. This is time to take care of your mind, your body, your bones, your spirit. Faith, meditation, the mystical. You don't like that. You like black and white. But universe is saying, hey, if you really want to heal totally and you want to get through all of this stuff and become whole again, add that in, try it. It's going to help you more than you know. The end of the year, as well as around June, family, lightheartedness, fun, gatherings, get together. That's going to be big healing to you. Let's go to Aquarius. Lucky Aquarius, Jupiter is in your sign until December 28th this year. You begin this year feeling like you've got a long leash on life. You hate confinement. You love change. There are a lot of changes in friends and family and partners. You're weeding out the past. You're looking for something new. You can choose a lover this year. You can choose a partner this year. And you could find somebody that truly suits a little bit of crazy, different you. It's a year of soul searching, finding your truth, finding your path. It's deep, it's mystical, it's revitalizing. New pets, new people, new places, new homes, new jobs, new loves. A fabulous year. Make the most of this, Aquarius. Once every 12 years, you get this opportunity. Take advantage. Career opportunities abound. New careers, new organizations, jobs. You might even move because of a career. And I know we have virtual, but you still could be offered a move here. Some people, Aquarians, you could be pregnant this year. You could be expanding your family. You could be traveling. You could be interested in sports, education, entertainment. Take your time. Enjoy it all this year. Nothing's going to hold you back, not even COVID. Pisces, your 11th house has been highlighted since 2020. What's that? It's your hopes, goals, and wishes. And then mid-year, where we are right now, your 12th house, hospital, secrets, mysticism. You've got your rose-colored glasses firmly planted on your face. Be careful with that. Go slow. Health, spirit, release old habits. Release the past. You could find your soulmate this year, but not figure out who they are until next year. Learning, study, growth, new jobs, new careers, education. 2 residences could happen for some of you. Issues with trying to control others or issues with others trying to control you, you're getting out of it this year. That's not going to happen anymore. especially around obviously home and family. A desire to study, to learn. Watch your dreams. Holy smokes, that 12th house could bring God right to your door. There's going to be a lot of activity this year around cousins and siblings. You're going to keep yourself busy. Again, you could attract a soulmate this year. Health, oh my God, you're the worst in health. Oh, I feel fine. You're limping. You're a mess. This is a time. Let's go to a real medical doctor. Stop trying to treat yourself. I have that all over the chart here. Don't treat yourself. Go to a doctor. But also hypochondriacs. Don't become a hypochondriac this year, Pisces. Now, because you've got that mystical side to you, you're inspiring yourself forward. Be careful of charlatan learning. If you want a good meditation class, go to somebody who's good. If you want to go to nursing school, make sure you don't go to the university of, well, maybe you're going to be a nurse. Let's make sure we fill out all of our paperwork properly. This could be for your taxes. This could be for your education. This could be for your divorce. This could be for your mortgage in your new home. Have people help you this year, only because of that Neptune in Pisces. It's conjunct, so it could kind of give you cloudy vision. So there you go. That's 2021. One more time again.
We have to. That was great. I'll tell you, we're whipping them. Anyway, on behalf of Christine Schiavone, producer of the show, and I'd like to thank Deborah Rose for being on, for doing the forecast. And I hope everybody out there had their recorders on or were writing down what was theirs. All right? Have a good year. Have a good life. We'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Again at
and
this
thanks
time.
for stepping in. Chris, we love you.
All right. Good night now.
Good night.